Hello, hello, hello everybody, and welcome back to LRC, today for round number 5, the final round of the off-season Realistic Performance Championship, and at long last, our final race on F1 24 in LRC. My name is Koolest, and we are here today at the British Grand Prix, what would be my home race in real life if I was racing. Thankfully, I'm not going to be having to bear the suffering of the handler model in this game any longer. I will be up in the commentary box today. And, well, we've already got some drama before I can even say anything, because Porky Lima has, proven exactly why we're so glad to be getting rid of this game, because he has had the old disconnect glitch, wherein your car just retires immediately as soon as you disconnect. So what a start to the session. Can't wait to get this one done, and, joining me in the commentary box for today's race, and for today's title-deciding race, no less, is going to be Mountie. Welcome in.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm so excited to be here in Silverstone. A bit windy here, 15 degrees. Way more colder than the beaches of Mexico.
Yes.
We just took the last flight from there, so we're in the last minute, but we made it for this title-deciding race.
Absolutely, and speaking of title deciders, let's run you through exactly what is to be decided. So first things first, we have the Constructors' Championship, and I'll get this one out of the way first, because unfortunately, it may just be the case that that one is already going to be over before we've even started here, because Alpine have a pretty considerable lead. I believe it's 40 points lead in the Constructors' Championship. They only have one driver for this race, that is Nade, who is currently 16th and on his outlap. But Williams are the team in second place and the only team that mathematically can stop Alpine from winning. But what you will notice is that, unfortunately for them, there is only one Williams driver here this weekend. Slinks would have been the second Williams driver, but unfortunately he is not around to show up. So unless he joins at some point later in this qualifying session, who knows, it's possible. But if we make it to the end of this qualifying session and he is not around, then unfortunately that does mean that there will not be a title to be decided in the Constructors, and Alpine will be taking it before the race even starts. But in the drivers, we have a very different story indeed, because we have a, pretty much a wide open fight in the Drivers' Championship, where we are going to have Aero as the Drivers' Championship leader, with, I believe, 65 points over Pool Diver in third place. Now, I'll get on to why third place in a second, but Pool Diver in third place with 57 points, and then Nade a little bit further back and forth with 42 points, still mathematically in the hunt. Now, in second place, of course, you'll be intrigued to know, is Phil Malone, but as we discussed last week, he is not going to be here for this week's race. I believe he's just touched down in Japan, so clearly got better things to tend to than F1 24, and that does mean that he is not going to be with us for this race, and is just going to have to watch on from the sidelines if he feels so inclined, and maybe cheer on his teammate to see if maybe, just maybe, Nade can capitalise on that outside chance at the Drivers' Championship that he does have today. But the main fight is going to be, as we say, between Aero and Pool Diver, and I think it is going to be a very entertaining fight today.
Yeah, I mean, looking forward to it. Pool Diver, there could be a little suspense here, because I think if there's a magical way that they both end up on a tie in points, but that, like you said, I think the tiebreaker goes to little Aero, I think, because he has more wins. So this could be kind of funny in a way that they end up the season on the same amount of points. But all we hope is that there's no drama and everybody finishes the race in those three. Obviously, going to Silverstone, it can be a little tricky, a bit tricky on the tires especially. But obviously, again, I think the 5th race in a row strategy will be important again this season. This race.
Absolutely will be, and as you were saying about the tiebreaker, Aero is pretty much guaranteed to win the tiebreaker if they were to tie on points. So what that would mean in practice is that if Pool Diver were to win and get the fastest lap of the race, then Aero was to finish second place, that would leave them tied on points, but the tiebreaker would go in Aero's favour, because he would have an extra second place, which Pool Diver would not have. They'd be tied on wins, so it would go to second place finishes, which Aero would have the advantage, so he would get the title. If that scenario was to play out, obviously. Plenty of different things that can happen, and I think somebody who'll be looking to influence that is the man who who is, as usual, still in the pits at this stage of qualifying, but Elias is going to be here for today's race, and he's going to be here, most importantly, as a full-time driver who is eligible for points. So there is something that you will have to make sure to keep in mind, because that will have some kind of effect on how the proceedings play out today, and in a VCARB as well. He's absolutely going to be expected to be clearing away at the front of the field. That was pretty much the best solution that could be reached, was to make sure that he's not going to involve himself in the battle too much, because obviously, naturally, the two cars that he would be best suited for is either the Sauber or the Williams, but obviously you don't want him to be a teammate of a driver who is actively in the title fight. So yeah, VCARB is the compromise, and hopefully that means he won't be interfering too much on the track with the battle. But it does mean that the points for the win may be off the table for these guys. But of course, we've seen Silverstone hasn't exactly been the happiest hunting ground for that driver in the past, so who knows, anything can still happen.
I mean, yeah, him being in a racing bull can be a factor that can change the whole championship. If he comes in first, and then the points are all different, you know, all the maths can be different. Obviously, if the stewards can get involved in this as well, because if the tie happens, and by example someone takes someone out and the FIA says that's a point of penalty, then you could win the championship on a penalty, which could be absolutely bullshit. Sorry for my language, but I mean, it's things that can happen. So obviously you're gonna try and obviously keep your elbows out to get as much points as possible, but trying to keep it safe, because you don't want to lose a championship thinking you've won it, and then the next day you're like, you lost it because you pushed someone out the track, or for example, you made someone do a contact. So obviously, that's something they have to keep in mind. You have to keep a clean race, but an aggressive race at the same time. So people that will be able to balance it perfectly may have the edge here.
Yeah, there's obviously something to consider. As we know, the history of LRC at Silverstone is a bit of a roller coaster. We've had some very, very clean and tidy and nice orderly races here, and then we've also had some of the most chaotic races in the league's history. As here we go, here is a development for the championship already. Slinks has arrived late into the session here. He will have time to get a lap. 9.5 minutes still remaining in the session, so he's got plenty of time to see what he can do here. So that will mean that you know, as long as Slinks gets in, picks the right car, and is able to take the start of the race, the Constructors' Championship will not be decided until the checkered flag, which is exactly what we like to see. But yeah, as you say with penalties, that is going to be something to keep on top of, not just for track limits, which is another thing that is going to be important here. Not as much as last week, I would say, but still something to keep an eye on. But yeah, with racing penalties as well, the conduct of the drivers will hopefully be at their best for the final race of the season. Obviously, it's you can think of it as like the final exams in school. You know, it's not quite the off season where you can, you know, just kick back, relax, and not take anything seriously. This is the final push for these guys. Last chance to get some kind of silverware for this season. And so far, taking a look through the timing sheets, you can see Kiesiel is the driver at the top of the standings so far, with Nade in second place. Zoxen back up the order after having a pretty dreadful race last week by his own admission in third. Then we've got Blazer in fourth, Hypesworth in fifth, or Reese, and then Loris, currently a little bit down the order in sixth, but not nearly as down the order as his teammate is. Pool Diver, obviously one of the two favourites for the championship here, currently down in 12th, but currently seemingly on a lap as well. So we follow him out of Sector 2, and he seems to be a little bit down on his own time so far, so I'm not sure this qualifying session is going exactly to plan for the Dutch driver so far.
I mean, yeah, obviously Pool Driver, a lot of times this season has relied on his teammate, but Loris this season has been anything but consistent, and we'll see if he's actually going to be able to help his teammate in the race more than in qualifying, because it's happened a lot that he's helping in qualifying, get a top 3, a pole position, but then in the race, he just vanishes. No disrespect to Loris. I know he's a great driver. That's why he's in a kick car, but like, I think now in the last race, if there's any time you have to tell your teammate that, yeah, I need you to log in here and help me, I think it's today. And I think maybe some added pressure to bad results can lead to a bit of drama, maybe a bit of chaos. But yeah, obviously now as well, keep in mind that Williams is there. Both Williams are there. Now there's even more pressure as Nade does the fastest lap. which is a great 126.9, which is a great lap. Only 0.005 of Kizio,
For how
but that
long?
puts more pressure. And as LES, yeah, it just comes in and just swoops like we said before. But even puts more pressure on the Alpine driver to bag it home.
Indeed, and something else to consider is that though things might not be looking too great for Paul Diver, they are also not looking the best for Aero either, his main title rival in today's race, only in P10 after his first lap of the session, so I wonder if perhaps it's the the power disadvantage and the drag disadvantage of that Williams and the Sauber might really be costing these guys around a track like Silverstone here, so let's see how things pan out over the session. Obviously, what Aero does have, as you can see on your screens, is a teammate now, so whether Slinks is going to offer the Portuguese driver some kind of tow remains to be seen. Seems like that might just be the case. Both of them are going to stay out here, so Aero's going to back up a little bit, get himself a bit of space, and see if he can get a distant tow from his teammate, but I would imagine that they are both going to be going for competitive laps, but not Aero, because he's invalidated coming around the Vale chicane there before he can even start the lap, so yeah, 5.5, well, the better part of 6 minutes left to go in the session, but yeah, a little bit of strife for our two main title contenders, and meanwhile, the outside hopeful, Nade, currently chilling in P2.
Pressure getting to them? That's a great question, you know. It's the last race. You know, Silverstone is not an easy track. Obviously, it's a lot of fast-paced turns, and obviously, for someone that's under stress, if you miss your line, you have to adjust, and that makes you go into gravel bags, and it will make you leave your racing line. Maybe you have to correct a lot on if you miss the line here. So it's actually really tough for certain people. But yeah, obviously, validating a lap with 5 minutes left is yeah, maybe showing signs of stress. But again, things do look maybe Lennon again, great lap. Maybe trying to go on his great result in Mexico, P7. Blair's in the McLaren, Mercedes started in P5. Yeah, so obviously a lot of a great result so far. Obviously, we're 17 this race, so it's I think one of their biggest tallies of people we had this in a while. So it's nice to see that in the last race people are showing up, which means more drama, more opportunities of safety cars maybe, and that could play in the mix of the race.
Well, what I can tell you about the so-called 17th driver is I believe what's happened here is we've had Porky Lima join, and I didn't notice at the time, didn't put two and two together, but Porky Lima is not actually an Aston Martin driver anymore. He was not around for a considerable period of time, long enough that he was removed from his seat, and I believe he also left the server as well. So, for some reason, he's just decided to join in on the action today as if nothing's happened and tried to get back into his seat. So, I suspect what actually happened, rather than him disconnecting, is he was probably kicked from the session, since he's not actually a registered driver anymore. So, yeah, a little bit of bizarre stuff there, but still, 16 drivers in any case, plenty enough to create some good entertainment for us, I'm sure. And yeah, we've managed to reach a bit of a calm period, the calm before the storm, as I often call it, in this qualifying session, where we don't have many cars out on track at all. Pluto is one of a few, and she obviously just set a lap with seemingly a bit of help from a tow from Paul Diver, which I don't really know why there'd be any cross-team in between those guys, and don't know if it was intentional, but in any case, that's got her up into 11th place so far. And yeah, currently the only other driver out on track who might be in danger of being on a lap is Slinks, but he is 8/10ths down on his best lap so far. Obviously, he's only got the one lap in the session, having joined a little bit later on, and I think, yes, he's going to be coming back to the pits and trying to do a very hasty pit stop here.
In and out. In and out.
Which you're going to have to hope, for his sake, for the team's sake, that he doesn't end up compromising Aero here, because Aero is also going to be looking to get out of the pits sometime soon, I would imagine, as, yeah, less than 3 minutes to go in the session. This is starting to get into crunch time now, but good news, Aero is already out onto the track.
Yeah, no, obviously this is going to be the time where everybody goes on track. Obviously now with 16 people, it's going to be some traffic. Well, will there be any drama with the traffic and get out of the way? Obviously, it's not Monaco. We know there's space to go off white here, but as you're saying, Slinks, it's really in and out the pit. Obviously, the pit lane in here is really a long line. So it's as we see, yeah, there's a lot of instructors going out the pits and yeah, rolling up cars. So like now it's going to be a bit of a mess, but it's the best part of qualifying when there's less than 3 minutes left. Everybody's going out. Will there be any team play for tows or anything? Or is it just going to be free-for-all? I just hope that everybody can get a great lap in and don't have any shenanigans happening.
And something that was pointed out by Paul Diver himself in the chat is to take a look at how many laps he's done in his tyres, and he managed to do a whole 6 laps on one set of tyres, so I would probably explain why he's a bit down the order, might not have gotten a clean lap in at any stage, and also just being on heavy fuel, so we can expect more to come from him in the session, but leaving it late, he's certainly going to be piling on the pressure down in P14, that is not where he wants to be starting for what should be his best shot at an LRC title so far in his career. So let's see how things pan out for him. If he can hook it up, then should work out very nicely with the timing of the track temperatures and conditions being at the optimum. But obviously, everybody else is going for the same kind of idea. So should be a nice even balance between all of these guys. And I think, well, who's going to be the first person to set a lap? I think it might be Leland, or I think Leland's just a bit further around, but I'm going to ride on board with Aero here, who is on what should be a very important lap for his race here, heading down out of the first sector. He is just a little bit down on his time so far, so that's not ideal for him, as he makes his way around Luffield now. See what the traction's like. Yeah, nice and smooth, gets the power down, heading through the right-hand curve here. And down towards Cups Corner. It's going to be full commitment here. Just try not to commit too much to the point where it slides the back end, because, you know, F124 physics, these kinds of things can happen. But most important thing for Aero is he's still on a valid lap for the time being, but it's certainly possible to throw that all away on the exit of Beckett's if he's not careful, but he is very careful indeed, not going too close to the edge of the track, and now he is slightly up on his time, but still only 0.06 of a second in P12. That is not going to bump him many places up the order at all, despite the closeness of the field. So it's going to need to be a strong third sector for the Portuguese driver now. Into the Vale chicane, a lot of time can be made up or lost here. So he's just sliding his way through there a little bit, but it seemed tidy enough. Up to the line now for Aero, and that is a big improvement, much more like it. P4 for Aero.
Yeah, great third sector. Obviously, it was kind of looking ropey a bit, only like barely getting a better second sector, obviously being the slowest first sector, as Slinks is going to be in 15th place.
Yeah.
So that's not ideal for Williams at all. But now it's going to be clutch. Everybody's going to be on the lap now, almost. Who's going to come in first, obviously. Right now, Elias is in first place pretty comfortably. I don't think he's going to get any competition for that. But
oh, whoa, wow.
Whoa, what is this? Some Mercedes in second place. War with 126.9.
Huge lap.
Well, that's a great lap from him. Splitting Elias and Nade, which could be a big. Nade right now is on the lap. I don't know about.
And Hypeswolf Reese gets up to third. Track seems to be improving quite a bit here. Elias is also going to cross the line to improve his own time up to a 126.1 as everybody's about to swarm across the finish line, so let's keep track of this best we can. Kiesel's going to shoot to second. Nade's going to be next across the line. He takes second from Kiesel. Great lap by him. Next across the line is going to be the Red Bull of Leland, who jumps up to P8. Solid qualifying from him once again. And I think the last driver is going to be Mr. Zoxon here. He's got a Williams behind him, but I don't think that Williams is going to be on a lap. Zoxon gets himself up to 6th place, and the last Williams is, of course, the Williams of Aero, who's already done his lap and is only going to be qualifying 8th place. It seemed like a solid run for him, but yeah, everybody improving at the death. Track conditions reaching their climax, and yeah, the session certainly doing so as well. Very excited into qualifying there.
Yeah, great last 2 minutes there. A lot of new faces in the top. In the top, they obviously were. I don't know where he pulled this from. Obviously, I keep saying McLaren, it's Mercedes. I'm so sorry. Mercedes is maybe a great car on this track, obviously, but yeah, no, great 5th place behind Zoxon, who had also a great qualifying. But Aero not the best for his championship chances here in 8th place. He's gonna have to pull some elbows out moves, which might lead to us, like I was saying, some penalty points. Maybe he's gonna have to go for it. So it's gonna be interesting.
I think we have to say, from the neutral standpoint, that qualifying session couldn't really have gone much better. We've got the driver with the furthest outside shot at the title, lining up in 2nd place. Then the 2nd place driver, as things stand, obviously Phil is actually 2nd place, but the 2nd place driver who's here with a chance, Paul Diver in 4th, and then the championship leader Aero down in 8th place with a little bit of work to do here today to make sure he doesn't end up throwing it away at the last hurdle. So plenty is still to play for in this race, and yeah, yeah, cannot wait to get this one underway and see how everything pans out here. And obviously, with the Constructors Championship also on the line, but for Slinks, he is going to need to put in a massive shift, because nothing less than a 1-2 finish for Williams is going to do. That's their only chance at taking the Constructors title, and even then, it's not guaranteed. So those guys have got to have a perfect, flawlessly executed race. It's mathematically possible, it's unlikely, but anything can happen, and we're going to have to wait and see what exactly does. So let's take a look at the strategy. First and foremost, we have, yeah, obviously it'll take everyone a few moments to get their ideas in order, so in the meantime, we'll do a quick refresher of the grid order. So, as per usual, Elias on pole position, hopefully not going to interfere too much with the fight today, but obviously he is not a reserve for this race. He's going to be able to take away points, and if he does get the top step, then that is the biggest point swing possible going in his favour. Obviously, he can't win this championship, much to everyone else's delight, but yeah, he can certainly do a little bit of harm, especially to the likes of Pulldiver and Nada. And in fact, Nada especially, if Elias wins, then Nada is immediately going to be out. Nothing less than a win will do for Nada if he wants any chance at this title. Kiesel is going to be in third place, from Pulldiver in fourth. Then War, like you say, with a very strong qualifying for him, up in P5. Not been around too much this season, but nice to see him come in and end things off on a high, at least in as far as qualifying is concerned. Zuxen bouncing back a bit from last week, and one of currently 3 drivers lining up on the medium tyres. So again, we'll take a look at that as the strategies do continue to change whilst people make their preparations. Then Reese or Hypeswolf in 7th, with Aero down in 8th with a little bit of work to do, but obviously the DRS train effect could work in his favour, or it could work against him. If he gets into the first and the lead DRS train, he should have no worries and no troubles, you know, throwing his weight around in this title fight. But if he ends up getting separated into the second DRS train, then things might start to get a little bit tricky for him. So, like we say, all still to play for. Leland's going to be in 9th, with Blazer in 10th, a terrifying 5th row of the grid, I have to say. Then Q-Man and Trimmershave, not much better, on the 6th row. Now, respect to those guys, of course. Then it's Loris, again, another poor quali from him, down at 13th, but maybe that's what he needs. Maybe he needs a poor quali to be able to have a good race. I don't know. We'll see how things go for him, see if he can get his first points of the season at the last time of Eskin. He's another one currently on mediums. Then Pluto 14th, Slinks 15th, Bablo 16th, and, well, who knows what Porky Lima's going to do, considering that he is apparently still in the lobby and not even a registered driver in the league.
I mean, yeah, obviously, a lot of strategy changes, obviously. A lot of, Elias right now is on hards. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Going for the long run, but obviously a lot of colors on the strategies right now. A lot of yellow, red, but yeah, no, this is so exciting. I can't wait. I cannot wait for this race. I'm literally so hyped up because like anything can happen. Anything can happen. Literally, a person that's in 12th place in the championship could change the course of the whole thing. You know how like insane that is. When you think about it, like some person could be the Latifi of this world, if you know what I mean, not in a bad way. But you know, back in 21 when he caused a safety car that led to Hamilton losing the world championship. I'm sure you remember that one.
Yes, don't remind me.
but yeah, no, anything can happen in Silverstone. So I can't wait for the strategies to pull out.
There's plenty still to play for. I think we should be getting underway in a few moments' time with the formation lap. Obviously, nice to see that this time everyone seems to have gotten the memo. Nobody's readied up too soon.
First time in 3 weeks.
Yes, we have plenty of time for everyone to make their full preparations, and it is seemingly going to be only Elias on the hard tyres. But like we say, not too much of a surprise, because his pace will allow him to do that, but what it will mean is that his launch off the grid and heading down towards the first couple of corners is probably not going to be the best, and he might find himself under a little bit of duress from the drivers behind him, Nadi and Kiesel, currently still lining up on soft. So yeah, outside of Elias, the only drivers not on the soft tyres, well actually there's quite a few of them now. So we've got Pulldiver on mediums.
Yeah, a lot of mediums now. Yeah.
Zuxen on mediums, Reese on mediums, and we are finally getting underway with the formation lap. So I'll turn on the tyre graphic and we'll continue it from the live feed. Zuxen on mediums, then Reese, Hypeswolf on mediums as well. Leland, Human, Trimmer Shave, Pluto or Eno plays, and Slinks all opting for the alternate strategy, including Elias, who has gone back to his old ways and done the trademark switch at the the old Bateman switch at the end of the session, and he is going to be on the mediums as well.
Yeah, obviously. I don't know what's the window for the soft. I don't know if they can last long here. Obviously, now they're going for the soft. It is aggressive, really aggressive when from him. Maybe he wants to get as fast a start as possible. I mean, obviously, Paul there on the medium, he's going to try and play as safe as possible, kind of as where the positions are right now, with Arrows in 8th place right now. So we're going to see what this is all about. Let's just hope there's no shenanigans from a certain Aston Martin in 17th place. But yeah, no, it shows it right now. So the soft can last 12 to 18, it says right now, if you want to go on a medium. Obviously, the hardest thing for that. So yeah, no, it's gonna be really interesting to see who's doing the gambles and who plays it so safe. Sorry.
Yes, it'll certainly be very interesting to see how the strategy does play out over the course of this race, and of course, we can never discount the threat of safety cars as well, because, like we say, we've had some very calm and orderly races here in the past, but we've also had races with multiple safety cars and a lot of incidents in them as well. So, yeah, who knows what kind of action we're going to be seeing here today. What we can guarantee for you is plenty of DRS train racing, which of course, love it or hate it, does mean plenty of action in one form or another as the drivers are making their way around the final sector now. And, yeah, getting the final preparations in. 16 drivers able to score points in this race. There are no other reserves as far as I'm aware. And yeah, then there is just Porky Lima doing whatever he's doing at the back of the field. I have to assume he will be disqualified at the end of the session, so hopefully he just keeps his Aston Martin to himself and doesn't interfere with anything else going on in today's action. But we will have to wait for him to line up at the back of the grid. And once he does that, then we can get underway with what should be about 40 minutes of high-octane action to decide 2 championships. For the final time on F124, we've got 3, 4, and 5 red lights. And we are go at Silverstone for round 5 of the off-season championship, and it seems like a decent-ish, well no, not a great start at all for Elias. The medium tyre's not working out for him, and immediately he's jumped off the line by the Haas of Kiesiel, who's going to be straight through and up into the lead of the race. Nade having a look and making contact as in the background, Aero goes flying off the track. It's a terrible start for him, going to have to try to rejoin as safely as he can on the inside of turn 4, everything getting very tight together as it's 3 wide for a moment, but Aero started 8th, drops down to 14th. It's a nightmare for him. This is not what he needed at all, and he's going to have to hope that those soft tyres are going to give him, well, all of the grip in the world to get up the order as fast as possible, because like we say, once the DRS trains start to form, if he gets stuck down at the bottom of the field, that could be the championship wide open for Paul Diver and potentially even for Nade as well, depending on how things go later in the race, but thankfully it's been seemingly a pretty clean first lap there.
Disaster start for Arrow right now. Down 4th place, up to 12th right now. Horrible start. Paul Diver losing 1 as well. Down in 5th place. Kiesiel, what a great start up in P1. Obviously, no, except for that drama to get pushed off the track. I don't know what happened. We couldn't see it, but let's hope that it stays like this. Obviously, Loris had a great start up 4th place as well. That could help his teammates somehow, maybe in a way. But yeah, no contact so far. It's all going well. Let's hope it stays that way. Let's hope no one has damage as Blazer's going aggressively on Zoxon right now. Let's just hope no penalties happen already.
And yeah, thankfully, not on the first lap of the race, which is good, that's what we like to see, but now things are going to start to get interesting. DRS will be enabled. Blazer's still looking to the inside of Zoxon. Can't find any way through on the Ferrari just yet, but Mercedes do seem to be running fairly strong here, as Reese is going to be looking to the inside of him. The usual opening laps chaos is exactly what we're seeing unfold, and Blazer finally finds a way to the inside of the Ferrari driver, and might just have a chance. Meanwhile, his teammate is trying to size up a move on Paul Diver up ahead. Back at the front of the field, though, Elias was able to hold on to second, and now he's going to try to snatch the lead back from Kiesiel. Going to have to do it the long way around the outside of Luffield, though, and that is not going to work for him on the medium tyres. You can see, losing the rear end there, just doesn't have the same grip that the guys around him do at this stage of the race. As another mistake, something's gone wrong for Aero. He's dropping down to the back of the field now, and he's off into the wall. It's a complete disaster for him. It was a terrible start already. Seems like, I don't know, he might have some damage on the left-hand side. Yeah, he's missing his left end plate. Oh, this is a nightmare for him. It's gone from from bad to worse, and yeah, that's his race. Practically done at this stage. Failing some kind of safety car, he's going to have to pray that we get one of them and that it isn't a particularly clean race up at the front of the field. No idea what happened to him. We'll have to find out after the race, but that is a disaster now, and the championship wide open and perhaps served on a silver platter for Paul Diver, who's just got to keep things as clean as he can. His rival is effectively out of the fight for the time being, and perhaps with that in mind, he seems to cede position fairly easily to Blazer, and probably a sensible decision too.
Disaster for Arrow. This is the exact scenario did not want to happen. An early spin in the gravel pit on lap 3. He's lost his front wing, gonna have to pit for it. There's no question about it. As he goes into pit right now, what is going? I'm assuming he's gonna go on hards. Maybe he might be forced to do a two-stopper because it's a lot of laps, and then the tires are gonna be pushed on a lot. So obviously he's praying for his safety car to happen. That's his only chance of winning this championship. It's absolute catastrophe for the Williams racing team, and the constructors. Right now it's done, it's absolutely finished. Right now we don't have to worry about it because right now Alpine is going to win it by a mile, by a country mile. Not right now, seeing that Arrow is out the race pretty much, and that Pool Diver is in 6th. I don't know what can happen between those two. I think he needs to win. I don't remember perfectly, but that means he's got to push, because now he has a chance. He now has more chance than like, oh, we need the miracle to happen. He kind of has a chance. Yeah. Obviously, Elias in front of him might ruin his chances because he's a fast driver, but that is an absolute packed action for drama at the start.
And some more chaos seems to be going on, because I think now it's Bablo has had a bit of an incident coming out of the S section there. I think going through Chapel, he was off the track for a moment, and well, I hate to say he might have been involved in some kind of collision with Porky Lima. Porky doesn't seem to have any damage, so there's no evidence at the scene of the crime, so to speak. But yeah, unfortunately for Bablo, things just continuing to, despite his Red Bull, not go particularly well for him in this realistic performance championship. But yeah, up at the front of the field, still Kiesiel from Elias from Nade, who was getting a little bit of a hurry up from Woe behind him, but now Blazer is giving his teammate the hurry up and was trying to size up some kind of move. He might not be out of the woods just yet as they head down towards I've forgotten the name of the corner now, but it's turn 6 and 7 anyway, and we have got some moves going on, and indeed the two Mercedes have switched places. And up at the front of the field, Elias still holding on from Kiesiel, who is, yeah, trying to hold on from Nade behind him. But, yeah, if Nade does hold on and, well, if Nade gets second place here, he's only 15 points behind Paul Diver in the championship. So second place, if Paul Diver has a bad enough finish, 9th or lower, second place could still be enough for Nade to take the Drivers' Championship in unbelievable circumstances. So it is all still to play for those two, both at this stage of the race. Anything can still happen, and judging by the pace at the moment, well, the Sauber driver had started to drop back a little bit, but seems like the gap is really falling behind him, where his teammate Loris and Hypeswolf are fighting side by side. There's battles all over the track, and contact now between Loris and Lelin as they exit Stowe Corner, and further up the field there's a change of lead, I believe. Elias is, well, I think he was passed by Kiesiel and now he's back passed. Those two have swapped places a few times with the DRS. Like we say, the DRS train is already kicking into full swing, but it seems like the break in the DRS train is, luckily for him, behind Paul Diver at this stage of the race. He is going to be in the lead pack, and really, that's all he needs to do for the time being. Is up at the front of the field. Kiesiel really relishing the opportunity to fight with Elias and getting him back, going into turn 4 at the loop, and is, yeah, going to be leading again down the Wellington Straight, and, yeah, plenty of fighting to go round here, but these guys have to be very careful because, like we say, a lot of them are still involved in some kind of championship fight.
Oh, this is amazing. I think I'll say how much I am happy that this race is happening. As now they're down to 4th place. Blazer is having insane pace right now. 7th place from his from the start already in his lap 5 only. But that's not good for Nade. Like, great for Pool Diver, but right now it's a DRS train all over again. Obviously, it's a train and train and the train. So you have to stay close to the person in front of you. But yeah, no, obviously it's Pool Diver has gonna have to keep it just on the track. Obviously, that's what we know, because as you were saying before, all he needs is to have one mistake, and Nade could be literally handed the Drivers' Championship on a platter. And yeah, no, we're gonna have to keep on looking on what's happening as the train keeps on going better and better.
Yeah, unfortunately, bad day continues to get worse for Beblo, who's off again at cups. I'll spare him the embarrassment. We won't we won't focus on that. We'll keep our eyes up at the front of the field, where Nade is looking all over the back of Blazer, trying to get back through, and for good reason as well. Because if Nade does not finish in the top 3, then you can kiss goodbye to any chance of him winning the Drivers' Championship. So he's doing plenty enough to take home the constructors for Alpine. That's not even a question at the moment. But yeah, on the drivers' front, if he wants to try and snatch that chance for himself, if he even knows that there's a possibility, he is going to need to finish on the podium at the very least, and the higher up on the podium he finishes, the better. So yeah, let's see what he can do. But up at the front, it is just DRS Train City here for the top 7 drivers, and a little bit of a gap to still, I believe, a 3-car train, as Loris losing the back end coming out of Luffield there, and under significant pressure from Slinks on his outside now. Loris, one of the guys on the soft tyres. I wonder if they might be starting to go off already. It is lap 6 now, so it is certainly possible, and I'd imagine the medium is certainly the preferred tyre to be on at this moment in the race. But yeah, the second DRS train is forming. As who was that? Somebody's gone round. It's Blazer.
Blazer.
Yeah, Blazer, who's having a very, very good race, and that is a big shame for him. Obviously, nothing really to fight for championship-wise. He was just doing it for pride, but unfortunately, yeah, that's not what he needed. Do you see if there was any contact?
I couldn't really see, the camera was kind of far. Obviously, I was looking more at the times and the standings. I just saw a McLaren, damn it, a Mercedes just spin into the gravel pit. I know, I mean, Nadia was close behind and we know this. I don't want to throw shit on him. I did not see it. I'll check the replay in a couple seconds on my own, so I'll tell you what happened. But that's great for Nadia. He's got handed 3rd place. So right now, he is in the championship conversation. Zoxen, great race so far, in 4th place. So obviously, we know that he is aggressive. We know that. So maybe this could be maybe we're gonna have to look a bit more in your rear mirrors. Obviously, he's gonna try and make the gap as big as possible. Obviously now it's 0.7, 0.8 now. But yeah, no, he's trying to get as far as possible from what's behind him right now.
As in the further behind pack, in the second DRS stream, we have plenty of action going on here, and quite aggressive action, I must say, from Trimashave down to Darth Keyman. Those guys all embroiled in their own battle at the bottom end of the points. Trimashave doing a pretty solid job so far to see himself up into 8th place, and fended off Leland successfully. Leland's now going to be under pressure from Slinks, who is starting to climb up the order. I did expect he would have a bit more pace than he showed in qualifying, and he is starting to make the most of that now, as Paul Diver is starting to move his way up the order, and has got himself now into P5, which might seem like just another move here, but that is actually a pretty significant position for him, because if he finishes P5 and Aero doesn't score points, as he's currently not on course to, he will take the championship no matter what Nade is able to do ahead of him. So if he can just buck in this position, drive a nice calm race to the end here, then he is going to be well on his way to taking the title. But obviously, that's plenty easier said than done, with, well, still 18 laps left to go in this race. Anything can absolutely still happen, and up at the front of the field, Kiesel is still trying to make things happen on those soft tyres, which are starting to, well, very much wear out at this stage. They'll have seen far better days, but he's continuing to put pressure on Elias, as my controller seems to be continuing to not have the best time. So if you give me a moment, I will get that fixed, but yeah, we'll ride on board for Kiesel in the meantime, as he hunts down Elias at the front.
I just saw the replay. I think what happened, he's just lost the rear tires. He came off from the curb and he just slid on it just did a 180. I think he just lost there was no contact. I think he just lost the rear of his car, and thankfully there's no contact, so there's no drama from Nade. But yeah, no, obviously, I can't lie. If you're Nade right now, you're just hoping that Kiesel takes off Elias, but like obviously you're not. Well, as he just completely goes off the track, and he's gonna lose his place to Zoxen. That's actually a big mistake here. Obviously, coming to this curse right now, as I was saying. Obviously, that's 2 weeks in a row. I actually cursed an Alpine driver. I apologize, but yeah, no. Obviously, he's gonna try and just keep it on, and obviously, Paul Diver in 6th place right now. I think he's living the life right now. Aero probably in shambles right now. It's a horrible race for him. I feel bad, but hey. Winners don't choke. I'm sorry, I can't be saying that. That's what I mean. But you know, obviously you have to clutch up in the best situations, and yeah, interesting. Obviously, there's a lot of laps left. The pits haven't happened yet, so anything can happen, you know.
Yeah, we just see at the moment, Human pushing Glarus down the start-finish straight. It's quite an interesting sight. He's going to set up a dive bomb into turn 3 at Village, but no way through for him just yet. Obviously those guys fighting for the wooden spoon as things stand just outside of the points, but up at the sharp end of the points is Elias making his way back past Kiesil. Those guys still continuing to do battle, and I have to wonder at this stage, or you start to wonder at this stage, how long the soft tires are going to last for. I think if they're still this competitive for this long into the race, I would have to imagine soft medium is going to be pretty much the no-brainer strategy for these guys. It doesn't seem like the wear is too bad on those red striped compounds, as Bablo is penalty farming at the moment, and he's actually going to be caught up to by the lead pack here. So obviously with the blue flags, that's, well, he's not going to get out of the way because he's going to cause a VSC, still stopped on the track. Yeah, you can see him just there on the inside of Chapel. So virtual safety car, it's not going to be, well, it's going to be absolute rage for Aero, I'm sure. I'd be very, very disappointed, as Bablo is now disqualified from the session from being parked. I would guess potentially some kind of, maybe he had a controller disconnect of his own, I don't know. I won't judge, but anyway, he's out of proceedings now, and yeah, what it is a great opportunity for these guys to come in. Yeah, so soft tyre runners are going to make the very easiest decision of their life probably, to come back into the pits, but actually the VSC is immediately going to be ending, so it wasn't around for very long. Those guys aren't going to get too much of a benefit, as somebody unfortunately has not had any benefit. I think somebody got a drive-through penalty. It was Hypeswolf. Reese got a speeding penalty there. Oh, who is it? No, he didn't get a speeding penalty.
I know.
Just got a 3 seconds.
It was plays, I think.
Plays. No. I mean, as far as I'm seeing on my screen, there's nobody with a drive-through, so I thought I saw that pop up at the top of the screen. But,
me too, maybe it's, I mean, it's the game. It's the game,
F124. Yeah. But anyway, as for the guys coming out of the pits, let's see if we can find them. It is still Elias leading the first of the stoppers now, and we'll pull up the pit stops to see how many stops people have made. So yeah, Elias is the leading pit stopper, ahead of Kiesil in second. Then Nade, quite a bit behind actually, and this could be very costly for Nade because he's well outside of DRS range to Kiesil, so yeah, 2.2 seconds back. He's going to have to hope he can catch up to the Haas ahead of him, because otherwise he's, well, going to be dropping out of what would be the lead DRS train here, and he's going to be under pressure from War as well, so potentially those two might be able to do a little bit of tandem drafting and pull each other along, but yeah, that's I don't think that's really worked out quite as well for those guys as they might have hoped, and especially not for Nade.
Yeah, obviously the soft tire and having a short life range was kind of hoping for a real safety car, maybe not a VSC. Especially they ended really fast. I think that's probably what caused Nade to be that behind the two Elias and Kiesil, who are going to fight for first place, as we know right now. But as there is a Sector 3L flag, I think Hypewolf just DNF'd. I don't know what happened in the pits. Okay, so at least there's no cars can VSCs, I mean, or safety cars can happen, which could be quite bad for the race right after a couple pits. But yeah, obviously everybody still has to pits that are still on mediums, so we're gonna see what happens with that tire, and when they're gonna go for it. So yeah, let's keep an eye on that.
Yeah, so now up at the front of the field, it is Leland and Trimashev still battling in third and fourth. Obviously, Zuxon and Pooldiver quite a way ahead of those guys, and Pooldiver out of Zuxon's DRS as well, just on the cusp, so he might be able to get back in if he pushes and deploys a bit of battery here, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. He's, I'm sure, going to be very keen on getting back into the DRS range of the German, but yeah, closest battle on track as things stand is that of Leland and Trimashev, as yeah, Hypeswolf Reese becomes unfortunately the second retirement of this race. I do wonder if potentially he did get a drive-through and it just, for reasons known only to EA and Codemasters, didn't show up on our end. I'm not too sure, but I think that would probably be the most logical explanation for his retirement from the session there, but obviously never something you like to see. But yeah, the race will go on, and as things stand, I have to say it's all coming up Pooldiver at this this stage of the race.
I can't lie, I thought Nade would have went for hard instead of mediums, but he can probably manage his tires to go there. But if he needs to use them at the end of the race, he might be in shambles. I don't know if that's a great gamble or not, especially in this scenario. He's on mediums right now. Elias and Kiesil on hards. Obviously, he's gonna have faster tires, but yeah, it's Silverstone, eh? So it's rough on tires. I don't know how Blazer is still out on soft right now. He's 11 laps in. But yeah, no, we're gonna have to see how he can manage his tires to go to the ends because he's got 14 laps to go, and obviously with mediums it's kind of harder than on hards, obviously for logical reasons. But yeah, we're gonna have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I think like I was saying earlier on, I think the tyre wear is lower than we were anticipating here, or at least slower than I was anticipating. The soft tyres usually aren't particularly great on this game, but seems like they've been reasonably strong here so far today. As I will point out as well, on my end, I'm not sure if it's the same for you, but I do still have it keeps on telling me that it's communicating with the online services, which does fill me with a little bit of anxiety, to be honest, that something is not quite right in the lobby. Hopefully that's not the case. Can't say exactly how things are being panned out and if we are seeing exactly a true representation of the race, but we'll just have to hope that that is the case. And yeah, as things stand, with that in mind, the only driver with any kind of penalty is Loris, down in P14 with 3 seconds for track limits, as into the pits comes the next pit stopper, Darth Q-Man, and I believe he's going to be the first driver to ditch his medium tyres, and presumably switch onto a set of softs to go to the end of the race, because like we say, doesn't seem like there's as much tyre wear as we were expecting. The softs do seem to be a pretty viable option around here.
Yeah, for me, obviously,
It is hard,
I
actually.
see it once. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the safest option to go on hards because obviously not everyone can manage his tires as well here. But yeah, no, for me the lobby seems fine. I see it once in a while, but it's nothing that can make me panic like you do. I see on your end that you're seeing it a lot, so I do kind of feel I feel your stress, but yeah, no, it's not a big thing for me. But right now, Nade is only 1.3 behind Kizil, yeah. So the medium tires are really fast compared to the hards, as we expected. But he's almost in DRS. He's gonna be probably in DRS next lap or even at the next like detection point, which could be big for him because he needs to push as much as he can.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they're doing a fantastic job so far to have closed down the gap by over a second at this stage. So if you can get into DRS of Kisiel and then by extension into DRS of Elias, then that's going to form a pretty strong four-way train because War has obviously been keeping up well with the Alpine ahead of him, so he runs off the track a little bit there. Thankfully for him, doesn't seem to have caused any issues with penalties just yet, but yeah, that will potentially start to become more of an issue once we get to the latter stages of the race as the laps count their way down. But yeah, Nade doing a great job and is now firmly into DRS range. Once they get into the Wellington Straight, his rear wing will be open, and yeah, a 4-car DRS train will have formed in the middle of the field, which I think is going to give these guys a real fighting chance. And Nade has done, I must say, a fantastic job to rescue a chance to continue fighting for the Drivers' Championship in this race. And yeah, we'll see how things still play out because obviously Paul Diver, Zuxon, and plenty of other drivers yet to pit. We have no clue where they're going to end up coming out of the pits, but I'd have to say, knowing the undercut on this game, I think it might be looking quite good for these guys.
Yeah, especially in Silverstone, the pit lane is slow. It is, I think, the slowest in the whole game.
Yes.
So yeah, by a while. So I think right now, if we check the leader gap right now, Elias is only 18 seconds behind Zoxon, and War is 19. So obviously, they would just go back into first place. So right now, what are you waiting for? You know what I mean? Like like, you need to get that out of the way because unless it's a safety car out of
Oh
nowhere,
yeah, that's the thing. That's exactly what they're
you're
waiting for.
just yeah. I think they're just praying for a safety car as Zoxon pits. As I was saying. But who's going to follow him? Because it's time to go in the pits now. I think Lennon's going to
Yep.
follow him. But Pool Diver, when is he going to pit?
Oh,
Because
only
yeah,
time
like I
will
said,
tell on that
it's yeah, it's a slow pit stop, so you need to do it as fast as possible. Especially knowing that nowadays got the DRS train might be like he's on a DRS train right now. Obviously, so it's gonna be interesting to see.
Of course, the good news for those guys who are coming into the pits now is that they are strapping on a set of soft tyres to the end of the race, so they are going to have a marked pace advantage over the guys ahead, at least in the early stages, to try and help them close up any gaps. But even for Zoxen, he's 6.5 seconds behind the back of War, so he's a long way off the lead train, which obviously before any of the pit stops, he was in that lead train as Slinks becomes the next driver to cop a penalty. Loris has got himself a second one for good measure, so unfortunately Grand Prix Sunday still not going particularly well for him. He's just going to have to hope the checkered flag comes as soon as possible so he can start from a clean slate on F125, but Slinks gets himself a 3-second penalty, and though the Constructors' Championship was practically over already, with Aero still running down in 13th and still no sign of a safety car, it's certainly not going to help if things were to end up panning out in a favourable manner for Williams. But like we say, as things stand, seems to be going the way of Elias, Kiesil, Nade and War in terms of the overall position. And yeah, Paul Diver finally decides now is the time to come in, and he's going to have to hope that he comes out right around Mr. Zuxen in some kind of DRS train, and that those two are able to pull each other along to that 4-man DRS train and try to get themselves in the fight, because otherwise it is going to be out of his hands.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I was just on that completely. I was looking at the pit stop. Well, yeah, Zoxen, as he goes right now, I don't think he's gonna be any close. So I think that backfired for Pool Diver. Who hasn't pitted yet? Is anyone pitted? Everybody's pitted except for Blazers, Length, and Trebuchet. Okay, so he would be in P6 right now. I think that's good enough for him still. I don't think that there's any change on that. Obviously, on the soft tires, I think he's got enough in 10 laps for sure to get to the end of that. But, you know, anything can happen again. I wonder what happens now if there's a safety car.
Yeah,
Do you pit?
Well, it's going to be really interesting if that is the case. It's still 10 laps to go, so there's plenty of time for it to happen. But yeah, I honestly wouldn't know what these guys are going to prioritise. All I do know is that Aero would be thanking his lucky stars if that was to happen. But yeah, no real sign of that just yet. It is pretty hard to bring out a safety car in this game, and especially at a track like this, the runoff is relatively far away. So yeah, it seems unlikely at this stage, but who knows, anything can still happen, and what is currently happening is Kiesil making a pass on Elias for the net lead of the race, as Nade dropping back just a little bit, but that is because he received some contact earlier on in the lap, which we did see, from War behind him, which I'm sure he didn't appreciate very much, as now the last, or 2 of the 3 drivers still out are making their way into the pits. That's Trimmershave and Slinks, who are going to drop right down the order. Not sure how far exactly, but I think they might even be out of the points as things stand. As Zoxen chimes in with the fastest lap of the race, and like you were saying, a long way clear of Paul Diver, who's only just making his way into the first corner now. So yeah, no sign of any kind of DRS train. He's effectively had done to him what Zoxen had, well, done to him in Jeddah at the start of the season, where Zoxen tried to stay out a little bit too long, and it did not work at all, and yeah, Paul Diver's, unfortunately for him, fallen for the same mistake, which means he is now just trapped out in no man's land. Speaking of which, Blazer, yeah, not looking to get involved with the fight at the front of the field, which I have to say I do commend that, considering his race has unfortunately fallen apart a little bit for him. A side-by-side into cops there. Elias wasting no time in getting back past Kiesil. Obviously, these guys are going to swap positions plenty before the checkered flag, but yeah, a little bit of flair on that move there from the Bahraini driver.
Yeah, I mean, that Blazer is also the only one that has not pitted yet. He's on 16 laps on his soft. So I think he just, like you say, he didn't want to get involved, but also I think his tires might be.
And watch for Nade here to the inside at Stowe. Thought about it, he makes contact with Elias, who's turning in for his own corner there. We're still going to be side by side with the VCAB as we head into the Vale chicane here. Watch out for the car ahead of us. Thankfully, we are going to do that, and Nade makes it work nicely around the outside, not going to get switchbacked, and in fact, War's going to have a look up the inside. I've seen that one go badly for Elias before. That was would have been roles reversed that time, but yeah, luckily, everyone does continue to fight for another day, but Nade is doing exactly what he needs to here. He's keeping himself in the fight, and because of the DRS train effect, Elias has not been able to clear away at the front of the field. In fact, I've only just realised, Elias, who's getting barged around by War here, Elias is on hard tyres, War squeezed to the inside at Aintree. Obviously, the VCAB driver not best pleased, I would imagine, with some of the Mercedes' antics, as he's having a look again now to the inside of Brooklands, which I finally remembered the name of, into Luffield now. He's going to try to set up the switchback, and he's going to get himself alongside as he heads out of Brooklands, out of Luffield, and yeah. Plenty of jostling in this mid-pack, but what I was trying to say is Nade is doing a fantastic job at the moment, because with Paul Diver down in 7th place, if Nade can do the unthinkable and win this race, he will, as things stand, take the Drivers' Championship. Well, if he does get into P1. As things stand, I believe it does still go to Paul Diver.
Yeah, I think I'm doing maths right now. I think it's a tie, so he would win.
No. It's Paul Diver would have a 3-point advantage. Not anymore, though, because here goes Nade through, for the first time, into the lead of the race, with 8 laps left to go. This is going to be a really tasty finish.
This is stuff of legends. I haven't pulled this phrase in the whole year because I was waiting for this to happen. This is stuff of legend, guys. I cannot believe this is happening. Nade have the lead with 7 laps to go, and he's on faster tires. I cannot believe he managed to do it. Paul Diver has nowhere near. He's nowhere near DRS from Zoxon. That strategy to wait a lap, like you said, was the same that Zoxon did in Jeddah, and it ruined his race, and it's just maybe ruined Paul Diver's chances to win it all. I can't believe what's going on. Obviously, it's really tight. Nothing is done yet. Obviously, that's the thing. We cannot jump to conclusions. There's 7 laps left. Anything can happen. If Nade wins the championship here, with this result, I'm saying this probably be the best race I've ever seen in my life.
Look at him go again, up the inside into cups. There's still, like we say, plenty of action and plenty of position changes left to go. There is almost no way that Nade can hold the lead from now to the checkered flag, so it's going to be a question of strategy and of timing. Can he save up his battery for the right moment? Can he make his moves at the right moment? Can he pick his battles correctly? Because here we go, train pushing through on the inside into Stowe. Elias with a massive run from Kiesiel behind him. Both of them are going to go steaming past Nade and back into the lead with a 1-2, as it has been for so long in this race as War gets big time out of shape in the braking zone there, and I think once again hits the back of Nade. The stewards are, well, going to be having a field day with War's driving here, to be perfectly honest. It's nothing particularly egregious, but a lot of small incidents here that the drivers in the top 3 around him are really not going to be appreciating, I'd have to imagine. But yeah, he is the only other driver on the medium tyres, so it's going to be interesting to see. They are 10-lap-old mediums versus 10-lap-old hards. Come the final laps of this race, the hard tyre drivers might have a little bit of an advantage, but I don't think it's going to be enough that they'll be able to overcome the effect of the DRS train. Speaking of which, somebody who has done exactly that, Mr. Zoxon on those soft tyres is flying in this race and has got himself into the fight once again now, up into P5.
I mean, I don't know how Blazer is still out again. I'll repeat that. He's done 20 laps on soft on Silverstone. I just want to give him a round of applause because that's actually something I've never seen done before. But yeah, Zoxon coming in this battle can be interesting because we know he's aggressive. We know he has more than 1 or 2 tricks in his bag, you know. But yeah, no, obviously I can't wait to see if the tires can hold on for Nade. Obviously the hard is no question they will, but oh my god, I just hope penalties don't get in play in this. I just hope. Paul Diver is just bringing it, as Paul Diver loses the place to Leland right now. Leland is just going through Paul Diver. There's no way Leland just out of nowhere. Obviously he's just done 2 fastest laps in a row. I've checked at the top of my eye, corner of my eye. There's no way Lennon, out of all people, will decide the Drivers' Championship. Well, I cannot believe it. I mean, that's crazy right now.
He could well do it, as Blazer finally comes into the pits. So it's going to be interesting to see, because obviously Blazer was playing a factor here that we may have been overlooking a little bit this whole time, that was giving Paul Diver some advantage. He was going to advance to P6, but now he's still stuck in P7 because Leland has gotten ahead of him, and these two, like we say, in a bit of no man's land. It's a long way for them to go to catch up to the guys ahead. I don't think they have the pace to do it, so it's just going to have to be a DRS battle between those guys from now to the checkered flag, and Paul Diver can only fight Leland at this stage and just hope that at the front of the field everything falls in his favour. But well, right now things are falling in his favour, but it is yeah, it can turn over at a moment's notice. notice, the DRS into Stowe is so powerful, and we've seen so many passes already, we will still see plenty more in the remaining 5 laps of this race. But up at the front of the field, Mr. Consistent Elias is doing exactly what he does best, keeping himself in the fight from the start to the finish, and is just going to be looking to use his many weeks, months, years of experience in leading and winning races to try and make sure that he's able to do the same thing here once again. And remember, of course, he is a full-time driver. He will be scoring points in this race, so that position is very much valid for him, and that does mean that is why these guys, specifically, especially Nade, has to try and get past him if he can.
Yeah, from my reports, I'm getting told that Blazer had a puncture, so I think he's pushed his tires to the max, and he was forced to pit. He did not choose to pit; he was forced to pit. But still, Zoxen is that's a crazy second half of the race right now, up to P4. Great stuff from him. Obviously, he might get into play with the Drivers' Championship, so my people might not like that. But you know, obviously it's a race, so who gives a damn, like GSP would say. I don't give a damn what you think, okay? Because I will do my own stuff. That's what he's trying to say right now. But obviously, now they're keeping up the pace, as Pool Driver obviously is in a pickle right now because he's literally the worst car against the best car. So I don't think he's going to be able, unless Lennon does a mistake. I think Lennon's been driving really well the last 2 weeks. I don't think that's going to be a thing right now. He's going to have to fight all he can, but like, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. We're going to have to look at it.
And just taking a moment to look at some other battles in the race, we have Loris versus Kierman still raging on. This one's been going on for the better part of the entire race, and those guys are now scrapping it out for the final points paying position. Unfortunately for Loris, the 6-second time penalty isn't going to help him very much, but back up at the front of the field, it has just about stayed all in the same order. Nobody actually made any moves, but it was very close, and people are just practically pushing each other around the track at this point. Such is the nature of, and you'll be very sick and tired of me saying this. Don't worry, not too much longer to go, only 4 more laps and then we'll be free of this hell. But this is the effect of the DRS train that we've seen all year long on F124, and yeah, it is going to be exactly what ends up deciding the outcome of this Drivers' Championship here. Constructors consider it done at this stage, barring an act of God. Alpine pretty much have this one in the bag, so Nade's doing everything he needs to on that front, but on the Drivers' Championship front it is still all to play for, and something he is not looking for is Mr. Zoxen having a look to the outside of him, heading in towards Brooklands there, but luckily for the Costa Rican, no way through for the Ferrari driver just yet, and War still keeping himself in the fight, but he has a 3-second time penalty as well, so if he makes up any places, make sure to just keep that in mind as a caveat. But yeah, plenty of action still to come, and we are starting to get down towards crunch time in this race. Main thing is, for these top 5 guys, keep yourselves in the fight until the final lap. Everyone will be saving battery to some degree, as yeah, Leland gets himself a 3-second time penalty, and that could be very costly indeed.
Yeah, obviously that pretty much puts Paul Dyer in 6th place now. There's no question about it unless he loses, as Elias is getting, I don't know if he defended or he just got overtaken. I don't remember. I couldn't see correctly. As Lennon overtakes Paul Dyer, but that's the 3 seconds gonna come in play here. I don't know if he can do maths for me. I think Paul Dyer is winning it right now, right?
Yes.
If he goes into 6th. Yeah. Okay. So is there any chance he finishes 6th and Nade what he has to do? Do you know?
If Paul Diver finishes 6th, Nade must win the race. It's as simple as that.
He has to win.
If he wins the race, he wins the championship as things stand. And in fact, yeah, if Nade wins this race, then it doesn't matter if Paul Diver is 6th. If he's anywhere outside of the top 5 and Nade takes the win, then he will win the championship. But as it stands, anything less is not going to be enough. So he's going to have to be given it absolutely everything here, and he does have the luxury to be able to give it all or nothing, because like we say, Constructors' Championship is pretty much sealed. Even if he was to crash out and score no points, they would still have the Constructors' Championship well and truly wrapped up over at the Unstone factory. So yeah, those guys have pretty much got that in the bag. So a license to kill up at the front of the field for Nade, if, like I say, if he even knows exactly what the maths are, because coming into this race he had such an outside chance that he might not have even really been considering it, as like you say, Zoxen, the next driver to pick up a penalty.
Right, so it's P3 now. So it's P3 for sure, for unless there's a crash happening. So I'm standing up right now. I cannot stand and sit down anymore. I am walking around my basement. I'm literally doing the 1,000 steps right now. As Nadi gets overtaken by Zoxen, obviously he's going to finish in 3rd. That's horrible for him because he needs to win this race. So he needs to overtake it as soon as possible with 2 laps left. he's gonna have to dive bomb like a crazy. I can say the next word I wanted to say, but he obviously Zoxen being on quick soft tires. I'm pretty sure that could be right for him. But yeah, no, I mean, there's 2 laps left. I think if I'm not, yeah, obviously you already won the driver the constructors, so I'm saying just go for it. You'll have some fun and just go for it.
Yeah, from Nade's perspective, you have to wonder at this stage if maybe he's just feeling that he doesn't quite have the pace, and he's just decided perhaps it's better to try and let Zuxen through to see if he's able to do something on the soft tyres and just throw some kind of cat amongst the pigeons and maybe force the top 2 of Elias and Kiesel to start getting into some battles that they weren't otherwise looking to get into. So we'll see if it works out. Zuxen still seems to have some pace as Kiesel gives Elias a little love tap coming through Luffield there. Everyone still nose to tail. You can throw a blanket over the guys at the front of the field, and actually with the changes of place that has ensued in the past lap or so, War has been brought back into the fold of the fight, and as well, I thought he was having a look at the back of Nade, but he was actually just running off the track at Cups. So yeah, probably spoke a little bit too soon for him. He's certainly on the fringes here, but yeah, it is this front 4, for the most part, who are going to be fighting it out to decide this win. And here comes Mr. Zuxen now. Great straight line speed in the Ferrari, and he's going to go to the inside, 3 wide into Stowe. Exactly working out how Nade was hoping, because they're all battling now. And if he can find a way to pick his way through the mess, he might just have the chance he needs as we're heading now onto the final lap of the race. Kiesel still on the outside of Zuxen around the final corner. Elias is going to try to find his way through as they head down the start-finish straight. Final lap of the race, of the game, of the championship. It's all to play for. 4 cars in the fight, make it 5 because War's getting involved. There's contact between the V-carb of Elias into the back of Kiesel. That's going to see Nade through. He's having a look to the inside of Zox, and it's all kicking off. It was exactly what we were expecting. Final lap of the race. Everyone's throwing all the toys out the pram, and everyone is just throwing things at the wall to see what will stick. Well, who's going to win this race? It's clueless at the moment. 3 wide, 5 cars in the span of about 5 meters heading in towards turn 6 and 7. Round the outside of Luffield, Nade is about to take the lead of the race, but there is still 1 DRS zone to go, and the entire pack is swarming behind him. Incredible.
I cannot believe what's going on. I got chills right now. Stuff of legends, come on. I want to see it happening. I don't care if I'm biased or not. I want to see it happening. It's going to be amazing right now. A 5-place race for the championship, not for the race win, but for the championship. I can't believe it. Now they might have just pulled.
Can he hold on?
Incredible.
Can he hold on from Kiesel? No DRS. He's going to have to move to the inside to defend. He's going to force the Haas the long way round. Elias is going to look to the inside. He's going to compromise the line for the Alpine, who slides. Contact. And Nade, it's fallen apart at the final lap of the race. More contact up ahead. War pushes Zuxen out wide. It's all kicked off, and there's chaos ensuing now. Nade's going to make his way through on the outside as Kiesel comes through it all to take the checkered flag first. But it's devastation for Nade, who only ends up 5th at the line, because I think he even got a penalty on the final lap of the race. He must have got some serious penalties to drop to 7th, make it 8th. No clue what's gone on for him, but it's pandemonium on the final lap.
I think he illegally overtook and he finished the race, so he's got 20 seconds. But anyways,
unbelievable.
That was... wow. Okay. Again, let's forget this last penalty. I have never felt so many emotions on an F1 game I've ever, I can't believe it. I've got so much adrenaline in me. It's hard for me to speak. I'm gonna start speaking like XQC, so I'm so for real. But wow, what a race! What a final lap! I was so sure he was gonna be able to hold on, but with no DRS, it was so hard. And obviously, you can see that when he slipped, he was just trying to just make something happen. Chaos happened after that, and yeah, no, he just saw it fall in front of his eyes. But it was literally, he was reaching for it, and he had one hand on the trophy, and it just slipped out. I can't believe it. Oh my goodness, what a race!
Unreal stuff.
But congratulations to Paul Diver for winning the championship. Let's not forget that. Let's not take the credit away from him. It's still a great race on P5. But wow, what a race, what a season, what an end to.
Yeah, it was. It couldn't have worked out better for him in the end. It was like we were saying the whole time. It was entirely out of his control. He was just having to hope and pray for the best up at the front of the field. But yeah, luckily for him, things did work out and fell in his favour, and it is enough that we can say now officially. Stewart's decision's pending, of course, but it seems pretty likely that yeah, the forgotten the name. The Sauber driver, Paul Diver, will be your champion for the LRC Realistic Performance Off-Season Championship in 2025. Incredible stuff. And yeah, you've got to say, fair play to all of those guys who were involved in that fight. They gave us an absolute show for the ages on the final lap of the race. Nobody was going down without a fight. And yeah, unfortunately things did spill over a little bit at the end, but that's racing. That's exactly what you kind of expect to see. People pushing the limits of grip, pushing to get whatever they can from the race. And yeah, for Paul Diver, he is going to be your champion for this off-season event. Kiesel is going to be your race winner for today. And Alpine will now officially claim their Constructors' Championship. What a race.
Yeah, no, oh my goodness. Do I have the words to describe what this race was? Oh my god, Arrow losing it in the first couple laps. So it was a fight between Nade, who had, I swear to God, he had like 2% chance of winning the whole thing at the start of the race. Jumped his chances to like, what, 20? And then like with the pit stops and the strategy and what was happening, boosted up to 50. It was literally a toss-up. Like, he actually could have won it. I cannot believe it, my eyes. But hey, oh wow, what a season, what a race. Domination from Alpine in terms of the constructors, but I don't think anyone could take anything away from how they raced today, because that was an insane finish. I had so much fun describing those last 3 laps. I'm pretty sure you did too, but wow, honestly, just a bravo to all the racers this race.
Yeah, it's fantastic entertainment there, as we're so accustomed to in LSC. So yeah, I think we've earned ourselves a break. And yeah, we'll be gone for around about 5 minutes or so. And then we'll be back for some shortened driver interviews. Unfortunately, we don't have time to get around to everyone today. But yeah, some quick driver interviews and potentially some onboards as well. So yeah, we'll see you for that in a few minutes' time. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are ready once again. We've taken a break to calm ourselves down, process everything that's happened, and yeah, get underway with the interviews. One I don't have, I've just remembered, is a screenshot of the results. So we don't know we won't know the exact finish and positions, but we also roughly how things panned out. You can go and check back in the VOD if you want to see for yourself, and obviously it'll probably be a little while before the actual official results are clarified by the stewards. But yeah, anyway, without further ado, let's get started with our first interview, which is going to be with Nade. Nade, hello.
Hello.
Welcome in. I think probably a race of mixed emotions for you, that one. A lot of potential, and you did end up achieving what you set out to do today. You got yourself the Constructors' Championship for Alpine, but then there was a chance at the drivers as well, and unfortunately that slipped away right at the end. But hey, still a very entertaining race. How was it from your POV?
Uh, Tiring and yeah, pretty. It was fine because obviously I was focusing on the constructors because that was the objective from the start. But I had a long shot to the drivers and having it for just a little bit, even though it was a very long shot. It was kind of frustrating, but I'm happy with the constructors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was very close with what was going on. Obviously, things just fell apart for Arrow right at the start of the race, and then suddenly you found yourself with some kind of a chance. So yeah, because of course it's going to be a little bit painful, but hey, you did get the constructors, like you say. There was plenty of battles that you were involved in today's race, especially in the last lap or so. How was the wheel to wheel racing product for you?
If I speak, I'm in big trouble. I am in big trouble.
Yeah, I saw
Uh,
even before the last lap. I think you and War had quite a bit of contact as well. So yeah, how was it?
uh, it hit on my tires, and I lost a bit of grip because I almost spun like 3 times. But yeah, he would just catch up on the corners and lose everything on the straight, and he would think he had I don't know, 10 a pace on the corners. I just send everything. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was bad, and every time I went to for the move of Kisio, um, it was either I have no battery, and or it was three wide into the last long corner before the chicane, so it was pretty impossible. So I was just stuck between two sides and couldn't do much.
Hmm.
But yeah, at least we were what we set out to do.
Yeah, it was. I think, like you say, it's unfortunate when things like that happen. But were you expecting to be, at the front end of the field with your pace today?
I mean, if we take out Elias, I would have been on pole.
True.
So I think that's a fair enough comparison to the
Yeah,
rest.
yeah,
But obviously, Kisiel had a lot of pace. We were stuck in that DRS train, which is an unfortunate byproduct of the game or of the regulations, or I don't even know at this point.
yeah.
But yeah,
Well, hey, with at least one title managed to get sealed up this year, you were able to finally say goodbye to F124 now. So you got any parting words?
uh, I like the front end sharpness. That's it. And the tire and the hard tire being so consistent. I love it, my beloved. But yeah, ending up with a podium and a title, even if it seems it's a pretty good standoff, I would say. So let's
Hmm.
hope 25 goes even better.
I can only hope. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it from me. Mountie, you got anything to ask?
Man, you should rewatch the VOD. I know it's gonna be hard to watch, but you should hear me. I was literally so rooting for you because you had like a 2% chance of winning it, and you had I don't want to rub it in, but you had one. You were so close of getting it, and when I saw you slide, I my heart broke for you. But at the end of the race, you're looking at it, you almost had it. Surely,
Yeah.
obviously, you're sad about obviously not being able to finish it, but you must be proud that you actually had a shot at one point when everybody literally think it was impossible for you to get it.
I know. I mean, I was one of them. Until honestly, at the race start, I was like, "Yeah, this is impossible. I'm just gonna do my best race." And yeah, but then I saw Aero with his issues. I'm not sure what happened there. And I'm pretty sad for him because I mean he was the one with the most probable thing out of the three of us, of the three possible. And yeah, I just as soon as I saw it, I'm like, okay, it's game on. It's game on, and yeah, even if I won, which would have been pretty cool, I would have got Pool Diver would have gotten the points that he needed with the P5. So either way, I would have gotten it. But I mean, I did what I could. I did the maximum. I got the constructors. So yeah,
Definitely. Well,
Perfect.
yeah, I won't hang around to rub it in any longer. I think you can be
Yeah.
very proud
Thank
of the
you.
effort that you put in today, and yeah, you do at least walk away with that constructor's title, and I'm sure Phil will be very pleased whenever he hears the news. Oh, well, seems like he's already asking you, so you might have to go and let him know
yeah.
the good news. But yeah, I won't hang you around any longer. Thank you for putting on a great show today, and good luck for next season, whenever that is.
Yes, sir. I'll be happy. I'll start playing F125 as soon as I can get it, which is Tuesday, I think. So
All right.
yeah, let's see if I can go for the other title next
Hell
next
yeah,
season.
that's the attitude. All right, we'll see you then.
Okay.
Good luck, better.
All right, moving on next. It is of course going to be shortened interviews again. There wasn't even supposed to be a stream today, so yeah, I do have to go fairly quickly after this. But yeah, with that in mind, let's move straight on to the next interview, which is going to be finally a proper interview with Mr. Zuxon. Zuxon, hello.
Oh, hi.
Welcome in. I think we have some stuff to cover with you, and technically we have a few weeks worth of racing to get over with you. But yeah, starting with today's action, I think it was a bit of an up and down race for you. You showed a lot better pace and able to bounce back well from Mexico and keep yourself in the fight till the end. But yeah, how was today's race from your POV?
It was difficult to drive, and the pace was there, and uh, I've seen Kiesel and Elias always fighting. I said, well, maybe there will be a chance in some laps, and then came this VSC, where I thought, yeah, okay, me with mediums, I'm fucked. I'm truly fucked. But it was not very much the case, and in the end, it did work out pretty well. Elias got in with new hearts, which was his demise, and yeah, I thought, yeah, there may be a chance if I have the pace, and unfortunately, did not go out in front of them. So yeah, I had to fight back, and yeah, unfortunately got some warnings with under the dirty air, which gave me 3 seconds. And other than that, there was too much of stuff going on, as you have seen in the end.
Yeah,
Which I thought, yeah, Phil had exactly the same thing 2 days ago. Exactly.
she did actually. Yeah,
I'm
I saw that.
Yeah. So yeah, with another with another driver getting 20 seconds in which he can appeal. If he does, he will be world champion in that season. Yeah, yeah, unfortunate. There was a chance to win. There was always a chance to win, like Hungary, but yeah, some mistakes. Yeah, it can happen, and bit of luck has run out. So yeah, I have to get good with this with no win but one P2. It's
Yeah.
okay.
It's. I think you made a valiant effort this season, and can be happy that you're at least in and around the fights, and gives you some grounds to improve on for next year. But yeah, speaking of that, of course, this was the last race on F124 for you, so I'm gonna try to get everyone's final words for the game. So if you got anything special for in Codemasters?
Yeah, this game was I don't know what to say. It wasn't a greatest game,
Yeah.
to be honest. Other than that, in the end, at least it wasn't the handling of the release version would have been way worse. But yeah, let's see what 25 would bring. I think it should be like 23, which I pretty like. So yeah, let's look forward to that.
Indeed. Well, yeah, it's pretty much all I've got from my side. Manti, you got anything to ask?
Honestly, I don't. He's had a great race with him, so I'll let him go on that. I think it's a great performance from him, and I think he has something to be proud of, even though he ended the race into the wall. I don't know what happened there, but you know, great race from him.
Actually, one more thing that we can ask. How was your race in Hungary, Saxon?
Cool.
Great, except the 3 seconds. Pretty great.
Yes, of course. Had to get round to it at some point. I don't remember much of that race by this stage, I'm going to be honest. But if there's anything you'd like to share, let us know now. Speak now or forever hold your peace, or whatever they say.
I think that's everything I said. So yeah, it was a great race, and like today, which didn't turn out to be a win. So yeah, might be a podium. I don't know about the stuff in the last corners.
Yes,
maybe there will be something.
Stewards will have something to sort out, I'm sure. But yeah, outside of that, good job on giving yourself a good show in this season, and yeah, best of luck for next year.
Thank you.
All right, I'll see you then. Okay, and last of our 3 interviews for today is somebody who is probably going to be even more disappointed than everyone we've spoken to just yet, and that is the man who had the chance to win the title today, the best chance, Aero. Unfortunately, things just unraveled at the start. Let's see if we can find out what happened. Aero, welcome in. Are you with us? Oh no. I fear he may have already hung himself. This is very unfortunate.
He's already.
We arrived too
He's
late.
already got the bottle in hand. He's already done.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
There we go. Yes.
There you go.
Welcome in.
Hello.
He's done hung himself.
Yes, not yet. Well, I think that was yeah, couldn't really have gone too much worse for you today. But I think the first thing we have to ask is what exactly happened for you in those opening laps. Where did it go wrong?
So in turn 1, I think I got pushed out by War, which just didn't give me space in turn 1, so I got squeezed into the grass and then I lost a fuck ton of positions. Yeah, so if you're asking about the opening lap, so that's lap 1, then I started making inroads again. I was doing some very good progress, and then in lap 2, in the middle of Lawfield, I think that's Lawfield, the
Yes.
4th gear right under. Yeah, I just had a game freeze in the middle of the traction zone, and so I found myself in the barrier. And yeah, that's basically the one and only game freeze I had, and of course it was at that moment. So
Yeah, that is pretty disgusting, to be honest. I mean, you can never be sure with a screen freeze whether it's, you can never be too sure who to blame, but since we're in the spirit of, dogging on Codemasters a bit, have you got any final parting words for F124?
I don't know how much of my thoughts are
It's
complying
it's the
with
last
TOS,
race of the
though.
season. If we can, keep it to LRC spec, no slurs unless Loris isn't looking, then it should be fine.
I hope the people at Codemasters and EA consider the stool and rope combo. That's it. That's my parting words for F124.
Very well said. Very well said. Yeah, I think as for the race itself, after that point, there's really not much that you could do. I will say, it does sound about right for War to be the one that pushed you off. He had some interesting antics throughout the race, but yeah, it's just unfortunate that things had to end this way for you. I mean, I'll ask, but would you have been expecting to fight out at the front? Obviously, qualifying didn't go so great either.
Oh yeah, but I knew it. As I announced last race, I know there's always something that I
Yes.
cannot control that just gets in my way. It's not the first time, but I don't know. Quali was just my own wrongdoing. I messed up a lap, then I got a freeze. Also, no, I didn't get a freeze. I just basically got some weird track limits starting the lap, so it just invalidated my next lap. So yeah, that just left me with just one lap to go, which was a very mid lap as well. So not much I could do, but I was still confident that I could at least do something. But then by turn 1, or rather turn 2, my chances were ruined already. So yeah, I don't know. I tried everything. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
Fair enough.
not much else
Well,
to say really.
yeah, I won't rub it in any longer. Mountie, you got any questions?
No, you actually stole my question. I was gonna ask about qualifying, but you got it stole, so I'm gonna just asking a basic, boring question. Are you what are you looking for next game? And yeah, and you want any improvements in particular to happen, maybe?
Do you have half an hour?
Yeah, let's keep it brief.
Yeah. Decent handling. That's at least intuitive. That doesn't rely on exploiting the game. Getting rid of the 60 FPS glitch. I don't know, giving us laser scan tracks. Getting rid of bugs. Getting rid of freezes. That's basically it. Can I do I just have time to mention one thing
Sure.
related to the race? So I like as well how the VSC was caused by Pablo staying on the track in the barrier for
was
like 30
interesting.
seconds. That was quite interesting. I'm not gonna, theorize about anything right now. I'm just gonna do my own investigation on my side.
Yes.
Not that it's gonna change anything for me, but
Nah. Yeah, that was. I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I said maybe his controller or pedals disconnected or something, but I have no clue, honestly. I'll let you. I'll let the stewards. I'll let the experts take care of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then there was a VSC which was coincidentally perfect for the soft runners. Yeah, and I guess then people decide to behave super well, and there was no VSC, no nothing. So yeah, not even a strike of luck for me.
Standard error luck, yeah.
Yeah, it really bent the race straight away.
That's what it is. Well, we can only hope that we can only hope that now you've served your time. You've got your the worst of your luck out the way, and maybe next year will be better. I know it's probably unlikely, but we can hope. And
we can.
Only time will tell how things go. But yeah, until then, thank you for participating in the championship and giving us some great fights. And yeah, best of luck for next season.
Yeah, thank you guys for the interview. Bye bye.
No worries. See ya. All right. Well, unfortunately, we do have to wrap things up pretty quick today. Won't have time for the clips on my end, but if you would like to take a look at the clips, which I'm sure there's plenty that might be of interest to you, head over to the Clips for Stream section in the server. If you haven't joined the server, then you can do so from the link in the description of the Twitch stream, but I'm sure most of you are already there, so yeah, you can head over, take a look at them for yourself, but yeah, that is unfortunately going to have to be it for us. Go on.
Just want to say two things. First of all, there's a tie for driver of the day, so I cannot say who won, anyways. But I'll figure it out soon. But also, I just want to say thank you for the chance of being commentary with you, Koolest. Obviously, it's been a pleasure. It's my first season here, and I think I couldn't have asked for a better co-commentator than you, to be honest, to help me settle in and have a great time. So thank you very much for that.
No worries. It's been a pleasure to have you up here as well. It's been great fun to commentate these last few races. So yeah, and hopefully we get the chance to come back and do this again at some point. But it is too far into the future for me to say anything for sure. And yeah, for now, all we can say is thank you everyone for tuning in today. Hopefully you all enjoyed the race, and hopefully you're all just as glad as we are that F124 is finally able to be put behind us onto new horizons. Bring on F125. Thank you all for watching, and good night.
Thank you.